Good morning, church. My name is Klassen, and this is my story. I grew up in a traditional Mennonite home. That meant church every Sunday, Sunday school, and Wednesday school. I prayed my set prayers every morning and night, and before and after every meal, and was taught religion ever since I can remember. And I knew about God and believed that He existed without a doubt. But what I didn't really learn was that I could have a relationship with Him. I remember the first time I heard the Lord's Prayer in English, and I asked myself, who is my Father in heaven? Because I had a father here on earth, and I didn't know who's my Father in heaven. To me, God felt distant and an all-powerful being who was always watching to make sure I behaved. I wanted to please Him from a young age and be right with Him, but I didn't know how. When I was 8 years old, I switched from public school to a private Christian school. It was run by the church, and I learned more about God and His Word there. And yet, the gospel still wasn't fully clear to me. That changed one night when I went with my sister and some friends to an event where a missionary shared about his trip to Africa. And at the end, he explained the simple gospel that Jesus died for all my sins and was buried and raised again 3 days later. I was truly convicted and struck to the heart. I realized it wasn't about anything I could do, but it was about what Jesus had already done through His perfect sacrifice to take my punishment of my sin upon Himself. And that night, at the age of 15, I put my faith in Jesus. And even so, growing up wasn't easy. I was often excluded and often didn't feel loved at school, in my family, or among people I thought were my friends. Along with my own sinful nature, this led me down a dark path, looking for love in the wrong places, especially in pornography. It took a hold of me for nearly a decade into adulthood. I tried many times in my own strength to break free. I couldn't. I begged God to take it away from me many times, and He didn't. Many times I thought He didn't answer, and yet He did. Spirit was continually working in me and giving me a stronger desire to walk in the Spirit rather than gratifying my desires of the flesh. And so God has shown me He doesn't always take away our struggles, but He desires for us to surrender to Him and attain a greater understanding of our identity in Christ, so that we'll begin living according to who we already are as His children. After my conversion, I wanted more than what I was finding at the old Calling Mennonite Church. And when my sister started attending Lighthouse Gospel Church, it provided the perfect opportunity to tag along, to the disappointment of my parents. So I attended Lighthouse for about a year, and in February 2018, I was baptized there. Around that time, I started dating my now beautiful wife, Ashley. She was already a member here, and she introduced me to this church, and I loved it almost immediately, from just the welcoming ushers, the vibrant community, and especially the vision to be more like Christ. And so I want to make my commitment official today to become a member and to place myself under the authority of the elders and to continue growing and serving in Christ alongside all of you. Thank you.